All right, good morning, everybody, and everybody out there in Rhode Island that's listening. I want to thank you for tuning in, and again, thank you for the coverage today, because the messaging is very similar to yesterday. As the storm, as we expected, the storm started accumulating overnight, and the winds have picked up. We are now seeing significant snowfall and rapid accumulation. We are experiencing snowfall between 1 and 3 inches an hour. Totally between 18 and 24 inches by the time this is all said and done. And as I mentioned yesterday, this is one of the top snowfalls in a 24-hour period in the history of the state of Rhode Island at this point in time. That's what we expect, and that's what we're getting. We expect the heaviest snows to be between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. today. That's why the best thing that we can do right now is stay off the roads, stay home, right in the comfort of your own home. Between 11 p.m. last night and 2 a.m. this morning, the Rhode Island State Police responded to 15 weather-related accidents. Since then, conditions have only gotten worse. Don't put yourself in harm's way. And again, don't put the people, our first responders out there, all our traffic, plowers, people that are behind the plows, don't put them in harm's way either. Stay off the roads, please. Let our plows do their job, and then we open things up, and we're in good shape as we recover tomorrow. I want to share that all bridges, the Jamestown Bridge, the Newport Pell Bridge, the Sakonnet River Bridge, are all closed except for emergency vehicles. I just got off the call with all our municipal leaders and to see how the storm response is going in our 39 cities and towns. And the municipal response is strong, and I want to thank them for that. It's a team effort. This one team during during an experience like this to make sure that we go out there and do the work. The roads have been pre-treated, plows are out, and pocket bans are in full effect. And just to repeat yesterday's message in terms of adhering to the parking bans, this is all about safety. The safety of the individuals and the people behind our plows, but also safety in terms of there needs to be a rescue or a fire response or some sort of public safety response. And if we can't get into the streets because somebody's parking in the area that they shouldn't be, then that causes a problem, a safety issue. So as a former mayor, I'll say again and again, our cities and towns are crucial partners in this emergency response, and any support we can give to our local communities, we want to do that. As you know, we did an emergency order yesterday. Our congressional leadership, again, I was talking to Senator Reid this morning, Congressman Langevin, and messages into Senator the White House and David Cicilline, but they have put a request into the President through a letter, on the emergency disaster regulation. In terms of declaration. And then also I did talk yesterday to the FEMA director, who has been very supportive in the pandemic response, and let us know that the federal government through FEMA will be very supportive if we actually need to call on them. While our state and local plows are working hard to clear the roads, our team is closely monitoring power outages. Right now, power outages are low. 75 outages, but that could change. So make sure you keep your phone and smart devices charged. And again, have the batteries available if you actually need the flashlights to make it when it does get dark. Before I turn things over to the Lieutenant Governor, I want to say thank you to everyone who is on the job, doing the work, making sure Rhode Islanders are safe. Our plow crews, DPW workers, our police officers, firefighters, first responders, and healthcare workers, thank you on behalf of the people of the state of Rhode Island. This is a team effort, and because of the great team we have, we'll get through this. And so if you have an opportunity, help your neighbor if you can. Make sure that you're careful, and we will see good results because of the great work that is happening in the local communities and on the state level. So we'll be back later today with another update. So stay tuned for more on that. And with that, I'll turn it over to our Lieutenant Governor. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you for your leadership and your partnership and working in collaboration with the whole team to make sure that we ensure that the residents of Rhode Island are safe. I just want to emphasize what the governor just told us. Please stay off the road and make sure that you leave enough room for the plows to do their work. If you are too close to them, you shouldn't be on the road to begin with, but if you are, and if you have to go out because you are an essential worker, you have to go work at the hospital on a place like that, make sure that you give enough room between you and the plow that is in front of you. Also, just a reminder that the United Way 211 is a number that you can call if you need shelter or food. They have volunteers available answering the phone 24/7, so make sure you reach out to the United Way if you need assistance. I'm gonna just, it's important to, during this storm, to provide the message in as many languages as we can, so I'm gonna also send the message in Spanish. Quiero enfatizar el mensaje que nos ha dado el gobernador. El gobernador de aquí nos acaba de decir lo importante que es que nos mantengamos fuera de las carreteras. Ahora mismo no es el momento de estar fuera manejando. Nosotros recomendamos que ustedes estén fuera de las carreteras. El gobernador firmó una orden mandando que no debe haber ningún vehículo en las carreteras, al menos que sea un vehículo de emergencia o alguien de servicio esencial. También, si usted está manejando porque trabaja en un hospital o tiene que trabajar porque es usted un trabajador esencial, asegúrese de mantenerse a distancia de los camiones que están haciendo la limpieza. Es muy peligroso si usted está muy cerca a ellos. Así que déle el espacio suficiente para que ellos puedan hacer su trabajo. No se ponga su vida en una situación peligrosa. Evite un problema y una situación peligrosa, por favor. Queremos también recordarle que esta es una tormenta de nieve muy fuerte. Ahora mismo está nevando de 1 a 3 pulgadas por hora. Los vientos están a 50 millas por hora, así que tenga mucho cuidado, y las temperaturas están muy frías. Quiero recordarles también que si usted necesita ayuda para alimento o refugio, por favor llame al número 211 de United Way de Rhode Island. El teléfono es 211 y allí tienen voluntarios disponibles que van a estar contestando el teléfono. Si usted necesita ayuda, ya sea de refugio o de alimento, ellos le pueden ayudar. También quiero decir, como dijo el gobernador, agradecerle a los líderes que están aquí con nosotros por la labor que están haciendo. El National Guard, el State Police y todos los de Emergency Management Agency que están acá, los líderes, los directores, están haciendo una labor encomendable. Así que gracias a todos ustedes, los residentes de Rhode Island que están escuchando el mensaje y se están quedando en sus casas. ¿Okay? Muchísimas gracias por eso, porque nos ayudan a mantenerlos a ustedes salvos. So again, I just want to say, as the Governor McKee said, thanks to the leaders that are here, the National Guard, the State Police, the Emergency Management, for everything that they're doing to keep all of us safe. With that, I'm going to turn it back to the Governor for questions.
So we're going to use the mic for questions, so our viewers at home can hear them, and we'll start over at Channel 10.
I can be here, and I'll pass it off if you ask me too complicated a question, but I'll be happy to answer if I know what the answer is. Go right ahead.
So when we were out in Providence this morning, we got there around, I want to say 4:15, and we were there for hours, and I saw so many cars illegally parked on the streets and kind of defying the parking ban. Do you have any idea how many cars have been towed so far? And if so, if those people are watching, what should they do now?
Yes, so I don't have the number at the moment. I know that Providence is, enforcing the ban, and I would say if you're in Providence and you had your car removed, that you should be talking to the local public officials in terms of that police department. I would say that was probably the best way to get direction.
The people who are at home and saying that their side streets aren't plowed, I know that this happens kind of every snowstorm, but when do most people expect municipalities to come by and plow all the side roads?
Yeah, so it's going to be a exercise for an entire day. So that's why stay off the roads. If you find that towards the end of the day that your road has not been plowed, then what I would be doing is again calling your local DPWs or your local leadership. And if there's a state road that has not been cleared, or there's areas where it might be, you know, getting some, you know, accumulation, drifts or whatever, you know, give the state a call. That's the best thing to do. And we encourage that, you know, certainly as a mayor, I encourage people to let me know where the pockets are that needed to be covered. But I also would clearly say patience. You know, patience on this as well is very important. And that's why we're telling everybody stay off the road. And then I thank you for talking about the cars being towed, because if you're on a street that has a parking ban, get your car off the road. Get it off the road. The plowing is going to become more and more difficult as the accumulation continues to mount up. Okay.
This question's for Colonel Manning.
Great.
On our way here to the briefing, there's a few cars on the highway, pretty low key. What are your troopers seeing out there in terms of travel, and what's the enforcement been like thus far?
As I stated yesterday, we do not put these travel bans in effect lightly. We realize that it creates some hardship for some people. But I'm happy to report that the vast majority of Rhode Islanders are staying off the highways. I drove most parts of the state today, and I only saw a handful of vehicles. We do make exceptions. If you're essential personnel and you must be at a hospital, nursing home, doctor, so forth, or people that are involved in plow operations, we make those exceptions. But the highways are fairly light. We have not issued a summons at this point.
I'm wondering who the person responsible for weather forecasting, talking about weather forecasting? Anyone? Thank you.
Question, what does the state's weather forecasting say in terms of being specific? The regional, national weather forecasters just talk about Rhode Island as if it's one large block of land. What are you seeing in terms of community exposure? Where do you expect to see the heaviest downfall, winds, and of course, everyone's worried about storm surges?
So we have 2 meteorologists in the state that we use. So we have a DOT meteorologist and we have a DEM meteorologist. Right now, the DEM meteorologist is on duty in the EOC right now. So right now, it looks like it's 18 to 24 in the northern part of the state, 18 across the state. And again, as the storm starts to wind up now, we're going to see if those totals change. Our meteorologists are focused just on Rhode Island and providing us the winds look like they're still going to stay that 50 to 60 knots gusting. So we're still going to have this hard driven blown snow until at least 4, maybe a little longer. So again, I just want to remind people that weather is even though we try and forecast it, we're not always accurate. So they try and stay on top of it. But that's what the latest forecast was about an hour ago.
Any more concerned about surges? Weather wars?
So not right now. The storm, again, because it's a coastal offshore, so there's a mixture of different kind of snows in there. You have lake effect snow as well as the cold coming in. So they're tracking all that, as well as I'm sure all the news stations are too. So that's kind of how we're trying to stay on top of it, and we relay that to everybody that's behind me. And then we also let the municipalities know in a sit rep that we send out.
What's your name, sir?
Tom Guthline.
This is for National Grid. Can you give us an update on the outages and for, are you expecting more as the storm goes on, and how long will restoration efforts would you estimate?
No, thank you. So just a follow on from last night, we did stand up our incident command center. It's staffed with just slightly over 1,000 personnel of line and tree crews. And those crews are ready to respond. The outages so far have been minimal. As the governor said, it's about 75. We probably restored about that much as well. We are planning for a significant event that's going to make it very challenging for restoration really to begin in earnest. So we're really looking to focus on today public safety, looking at responding to emergencies, and really for National Grid to do everything they can to help out the DPW, the DOT, the police and fire to get the roads and infrastructures at a point where we can all move around and really get at restoration in earnest.
A day restoration, full hours?
So right now we plan, this is a type 3 event for National Grid, and we plan for roughly a 72-hour event. Right now, the snow totals are dry right now. The winds are along the coast. We're hoping to get it wrapped up a lot sooner than that, but that's our planning horizon.
Michael, go ahead.
For the DOT director, I'll give him a shot at this. If we could have a situation report, what have you got on the road right now? What are you planning to do down the road? And your crews obviously are probably in about the best position to make an evaluation of the conditions. And so what are they seeing and what are they reporting to?
So the reports that we're getting in, and my own observation out on the road, is that everything is going exactly according to plan. We told you yesterday we would have a full complement of private trucks and our plows out there. We've got about 155 of our plows and about 350 private vendors out there. They were deployed last night as we planned. They stayed out all night last night, pre-treating the roads, and also at this point we've got what we expected, about 4 to 7 inches across the state. They're clearing that. The roads are passable, although, as we said yesterday, the intensities, which you can see it is now picking up along with the wind gusts, is going to create challenges for them. So the observations are also that the general public is cooperating, and so are the trucking industry. There are literally no tractor trailers on our highways and very few vehicles that I passed when I was on the road this morning. I think I passed one vehicle, the Colonel, on the way here. But other than that, everyone is cooperating very nicely, and it is helping us to do the work better for them and get the roads cleared. So we would ask that things are about to get a lot worse out there. So if you've stayed off the road up until now, we certainly thank you for that, but we encourage everyone that the next few hours are crucial. It's going to be dangerous out there. There's going to be very low visibility. There are whiteout conditionings happening out there right now. So if you don't absolutely need to, stay off the road. Our folks are doing what they do. They're going to punch through the other side of this. We told you yesterday our plan, and that plan is in full effect, and it's working. So we're going to stay with it.
We're going to take 2 more.
This is for RIMA. Just wanted to see what it was like in your control room right now. What's the atmosphere like, and how's it going coordinating with all these municipalities, different towns, cities?
So as the governor said, he had a call to municipalities earlier. We've been activated in the State Emergency Operations Center from about 6 a.m. We have about 8 ESFs in there that are physically here, and then we have another 15 that are virtual that we stay in contact with every 2 hours to keep updates and again, to give the governor the most updated information as the situation starts to unfold. We also have a representative from the National Guard in there if we need any of that assistance. So everything right now is going very well, as best we can with a snowstorm, and we're staying in contact with the locals, because that's where everything really starts, is at the local level.
Last question.
This is for Colonel Manning. So Rhode Island obviously has the full vehicle ban in place right now, but Massachusetts and Connecticut are only banning tractor trailers. Are we doing anything to prevent cars from crossing state lines in Rhode Island?
We have double the complement of state troopers on our highways right now. I can't emphasize enough, you have to stay off the highways. As the director of DOT stated, there are whiteout conditions. I drove through them, I witnessed it. But we do have troopers stationed at the borders, commercial enforcement troopers to stop any tractor trailers that might come over, as well as patrol troopers to stop any vehicles and get them off the highway.